What's up guys, JQ with Tech Creation. So quick shout out to Huawei for sending me the Honor 5X to check out. And I'm gonna be honest, this is my first experience with an Honor phone and messing with the MUI skin. So there's plenty I have to say, especially given that this might be one of the best smartphone options for only 200 bucks. So for $200, here's what you get. So design first, it actually looks quite nice. It has this rose aviation grade brushed aluminum thing going on, sharing the similar Huawei design language found on the Nexus 6P with the finger scanner placement and those pretty thick bezels up front. Now the rest of the phone is plastic and the whole thing actually weighs pretty light at only 5.5 ounces. Now the screen size is 5.5 inches with a 1080p screen, and I won't get too technical, but images and video look great with 401 pixels per inch, and your speakers are downfiring, which aren't particularly the best sounding in terms of richness, but they do get pretty loud, and that's what's most important to me. Oh yeah, and there's no fast charging with the micro USB charging port. For me, the button placement was uncomfortable as I'm not used to the power button being placed below the volume rockers. So by force of habit, I can't tell you how many times I locked the phone trying to adjust the volume. So this thing packs 2 GB of RAM and the Snapdragon 616 octa-core processor, and it's running Android 5.1 underneath the MUI 3.1 skin. And all that jargon aside, I gotta say, it's not the smoothest performing smartphone I've seen. The skin is pretty heavy, packed with a plethora of features, and you can hardly see this on camera, but from time to time, there's a noticeable lag and delay, like when typing on the keyboard and looking at notifications or opening folders. Overall, animations just don't feel as smooth as I'm used to. Also, I'm not a fan of this colorful UI. It kind of looks like a knockoff of iOS if you ask me, but I do dig some of the transparency elements and I love how the dialer is designed. Now the 5X comes with a great deal of bloatware, which is always unwelcomed, and there is no app drawer, but you can hide the individual apps of your choice, which is always better than nothing. And sadly, there's no NFC included, so you won't be able to take advantage of mobile payment solutions like Android Pay. So moving on, the finger scanner is impressively just as fast as the Nexus 6P, so kudos for that. And one cool feature worth mentioning is you can assign touch gestures to the scanner. So for example, by tapping and holding, it'll take you to the home screen. Swiping down will pull down your notification shade, and swiping left will take you to the previous action. Theoretically, it could be useful for one-handed use, but I'll be honest, I found it to be a little finicky. Like, I had to play around with it a little to actually get it right, and the amount of time that I wasted, I could have just done the action manually myself. Now the most noteworthy feature here is that it comes unlocked with support for dual SIM cards, supporting both nano SIM and micro SIM cards on all GSM networks, with an extra slot for your micro SD card supporting up to 128 GB of additional storage. Now why would you want 2 SIM cards? I asked myself the same question, but say you have a business phone number and a personal phone number, so you can choose to receive only calls and messages from one SIM card and turn off data on the other, or even assign a ringtone for each. So it's perfect for business purposes or if you just want to keep yourself private from time to time. Something crucial I haven't seen mentioned in many of the reviews I've seen was the lack of support for 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks. And I found out the hard way when I realized I couldn't connect this phone to my router, so something to keep in mind. So for 200 bucks, you get a 13 megapixel camera with an f2.0 aperture that takes considerably decent photos. Now here are some low light shots. And here are some daytime shots. Now video capture is only limited to 1080p, so don't expect to shoot the greatest footage indoors, but it's definitely suitable for shooting footage outdoor with available sunlight, and I think is more than sufficient for the average Joe. So let's talk about the battery. So this thing packs a 3000 mAh battery, and let me just say I am blown away by its performance and its standby time. So to put things into perspective a bit, the other day I unplugged it at 7 o'clock a.m. and I didn't have to charge it until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that was a little more than 7 hours of heavy usage. I used the GPS and maps. I had this paired via Bluetooth listening to music for over an hour, and I had a little more than 5 hours of screen on time, which at that point I still had 16% battery remaining, which is more than suitable for the average Joe and more than I could ever ask for in a $200 smartphone. So yeah, for its price point and unlocked, Despite its shortcomings, you're basically getting a mid-range phone for a budget phone price. I know I had a lot of complaints, but that's because I'm used to a lot of these flagship high-end smartphones. But I think it's a fair assumption to say that anyone on a budget isn't looking for the highest processing power or the greatest camera. They're just looking for a phone that works, and this phone works. And not for nothing, for what it's worth, this does 95% of the things that any flagship phone does right now. So do what you want with that information. I really hope this helped you guys out when it comes to picking your first budget smartphone. And I'm eager to know what you guys think. Go ahead and drop a comment below and let me know what are your thoughts about the Huawei Honor 5X $200 smartphone. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and show some love to that like button. As always, I'll drop a link below in the description in case any of you guys happen to be interested. Now, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for some awesome tech videos every week. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.